Thank you for joining Cancer Support Community Atlanta for this program. Please visit our website, cscatlanta.org, for a complete list of live and recorded events. We invite you to sign up for our newsletter to stay connected to all future programs.
Right. Welcome back. Good to see everybody. Yep. Everybody's familiar. Yep. Nobody new here today. We're all good. So today we're going to make a couple things. So first, Lauren wanted to do like a bowl type thing, right? So she went out and bought these cool little bowls for us to use. We're going to make some bowls. So thinking about all that, I spent a long time thinking about that, probably up until yesterday, what we were going to make. But you think of bowl, you kind of think of Chipotle. You can't help it, right? So I stole their Sofritas recipe, so I thought we could do like a copycat thing today and make that. I don't know their recipe because I don't work for Chipotle, and probably the people that work for Chipotle don't know the recipe. But we're gonna take a stab at it. This is what I think should be in it. Are you guys familiar with it? Have you been to Chipotle? Yeah, it's their tofu option. I don't know. To me, it's good, right? Maybe a little too sweet for me sometimes. Yep, a little spicy. So we'll dial down the heat today. We will use adobo, the Chipotle pepper in adobo, but I'll use one in the whole batch. It just gives it that smoky flavor, which you need in the dish. So it's really simple. Onions, bell peppers. I have red and green. Today I have red and yellow. Green, I don't hate on green bell peppers, so they're really nice. I enjoy them. Don't be afraid to use them. Garlic, chipotle pepper, and adobo sauce. So that's just the little tiny jars. And you can find them in Publix, wherever. I don't have one here, but I can pull it up on my phone and show you what they look like. I have the actual peppers here in a bowl for us. Tomato paste, cumin, chili powder, a little bit of lime. I like sherry vinegar always, just to round things out. A good balance, vinegar for finishing dishes such as this. Salt and pepper, however you like it, and tofu. And of course cilantro. Anybody hate cilantro, can't eat it. All right, I will leave it out. We'll put it on the side. I knew there was somebody in here, one or two. It's okay, it's all good. So let's talk about this dish for a second. The goal for this thing is to get the tofu really dry, right? So the first thing you want to do is start with a firm tofu. You want to find extra firm tofu if you can. That works well. There's a couple things you can do with the tofu. One thing you can do is you can freeze the tofu, right? And so your goal is to get a lot of water out of it, because it holds a lot of water, because you want it to get kind of crispy, right? Crispy and dry in there. That's what our goal is. So you can freeze the tofu for a couple hours, and the water will come out, and it'll be a shell around it, and then it'll just come right off, right? Not all the water, but a good bit of it will come out that way. That's what we do at work. Another way to do it is to press it, right? You can press the tofu. What I mean by that is, wrap it up kind of in this cloth like I have it, put it in a pan, another pan on top, just weight it down. You want to weight the tofu down, and that'll expel most of the water out. Let's see. Yeah, and then I just wrap it in a paper towel or a cloth or something like that, and it will get pretty dry. Don't obsess over it. It's not something you have to necessarily do. You can just push it out with your hands and some towels if you want. So a couple ways to do this. I made a batch ahead of time because we have a good amount of people here, and then I'll make the actual recipe with you guys. For this batch, I took the tofu and I baked it in the oven. So I did it at 450 degrees. So what I did was I chopped this tofu up like we're going to do right now. I chopped it up, laid it on a sheet pan with parchment paper, threw it in the oven, 450. I didn't oil it or anything. Threw it in there, 30, even 40, 45 minutes. Just get it nice and hard and crunchy, right? Kind of smash it up. And then you can build your sauce and then throw the tofu into the sauce and let it sit there and just absorb all that good stuff, right? The way we're going to do this one is, if you don't want to be at your house and throwing stuff in the oven, cooking on the stove, I get it, right? That's a lot of stuff happening. We can do it in a skillet, right? It's not vital that it's super, super crispy, right? It just takes it to a different level. Another way to do there's other ways to do the vegetables too. Because I'm thinking about, like, this is a type of dish that I would add to our patient menu at the hospital, right? So this is something I was thinking about. What we would probably do at work is take the vegetables, right? Maybe oil them down with the tofu. We would throw them in the oven and let them roast and char and do all that great stuff. And then probably blend them or process them a little bit, make more of a liquidy sauce, right? Because I have to hot hold this food, right? But for your house, you don't need to do that. You need to make it and serve it and eat it, right? So I'm thinking about something that I could bake in the oven, process, and then put the tofu in and let it sit like that. So that's one way too. If you don't like the chunkiness of the vegetables, I like the texture of the different veggies and stuff like that. You can obviously adjust the heat if you want. You know, maybe a jalapeno, maybe more chipotle peppers if you like. So there's a couple different ways. Somebody earlier asked if you can put ground beef in it. Yep, sure can. Chicken meat, ground beef. You can do whatever you want, right? The sauce is the key, right? The sauce minus the tofu, everything else is really what. So if you want to take a line and cross out the tofu and just say everything else, that's what you want. That's the goodness of this dish. It's the flavor of the chipotle peppers with the peppers and onions and all that stuff. That's what you want. The cooked tomato paste and things of that nature. So you can sub out chicken, you can sub out whatever you want. So we're going to make that real quick. That's pretty easy and fun. We are going to make so building a bowl. You think about a bowl, you have a grain, right? We're going to have brown rice, which I made ahead of time. You could do quinoa, you could do farro, you can do all the things that we've done here to make a bowl, or all the things you see at Chipotle when you go up and get a bowl. We also have a bowl station at work, so we're familiar. We do this every day, different types of bowls, different themes, and stuff like that. So you want a good grain, some sort of grain, maybe a bean if you want to have a bean, is always nice. I like some texture, so I bought some pumpkin seeds, papitas already spiced up, roasted. I'm sorry. I like a slaw with that, so I made a red cabbage slaw. There's no recipe for that. We've made it here before. It's really simple. Shredded cabbage, some red onion, a little bit of vinegar, a little bit of honey. So you want some vinegar, some sweetness. Again, you could go so many different directions with that as well. So you have some crunch, you have some, you have the heat, salty, sweet, all those different things are happening in a bowl. So when you build a bowl, you want to think about the layers of the bowl, not just one mushy kind of bowl type deal, but you want different textures, different layers of flavor in that bowl. And then a sauce, right? So I made this jalapeno and avocado crema. So easy, guys. Rice wine vinegar, oil, jalapenos, right? A little bit of honey to help balance it out. And then I throw in an avocado. If you leave out the avocado, you have like salad dressing, right? If you wanted a jalapeno salad dressing, it's not spicy. So because what we're going to do is we're going to take the seeds out and everything else. So you're only going to have the flavor of the jalapeno, which is really nice. Yeah, seeds in the inner part. Yeah, I mean, even a jalapeno in general is not super spicy, right? So you're okay with that. But we're going to remove most of the heat because we don't want our crema to be so hot that we can't eat it, right? So again, without the avocado, you have a salad dressing. You may want to add a little bit of mustard. Remember, you need that emulsifier to hold everything together. Throw a little bit of mustard in there, and you have a salad dressing. Jalapeno vinaigrette. It's delicious. I make it all the time. And then yesterday, Aaron, we found out we're gonna have some chicken today. So I figured, okay, we need to spice up the chicken or do something neat with the chicken. So we're gonna make a tomatillo salsa. Tomatillos, yeah. You guys familiar with these? No? You've seen them in the grocery store. You're like, what do I do with these things, right? This is a husk, so this comes off, right? And then they're a little sticky. You rinse them off. The tomatillo, right? No, it's.
Are they related to a tomato?
They are in the nightshade family. So tomatoes in the nightshade family. They're actually more related to a ground cherry. I'm losing my voice. If you look that up, ground cherry is very similar, has a husk on it. It's a little more sweet. These are very tart. If you would eat them raw, they're super tart. But they're good. If you could take them just like this, right? Again, back in the oven, 500 degrees, hot as you want. Throw them in there. Maybe take some onion in there with it, right? Throw that in there, bring it out, blend it up. It's delicious. Cilantro, maybe some jalapeno, salt and pepper. It's great. Yep.
How do you know when a tomatillo is right?
So it's going to be in the store. It's going to be right, right? I've never seen one like right on the vine. To be honest with you, I've never grown them.
I love them in like salsa.
Yeah.
But I've never.
So if you're going to buy it at the store, it's going to be ready to go. Yeah, it's going to be in the husk. You just take the husk off again.
This looks quite big because they're usually much smaller.
There's smaller ones. I got a little one in there. But what we're going to do is, and I've done this both ways. So I've roasted them before. I didn't have time today, or the oven space here, which is kind of cool. But I've made a raw salsa with them. So what we're going to do is just throw them in a blender with some onion. We're going to do a little bit of jalapeno, cilantro, and salt and pepper. And a little bit of water, right? Just to help thin it. This is going to go over the chicken.
So we don't have a recipe for that.
No, Lauren bought rotisserie chickens just to have. So we pulled the meat, put it in here. I was just walking through the store and saw these and figured I'd show you guys quickly how to do that. It's a bonus round. Yeah. All right, free. I won't charge you for that one. Okay? But we will do it raw. But remember, you can roast these. So if you roast them, it's going to get a little sweeter, a little more complex flavor, right? A little more depth to it. Raw.
Chop them before you put them in the oven?
Yeah, you could cut them in half or just roast them whole. I've done it both ways. Yeah. They're going to get really mushy and brown, and that's what you want. You know, probably 30 minutes in the oven, 500 degrees, I'm guessing.
What was the degrees?
500, get it hot as you can. Mm-hmm. Okay? Does that sound good? Okay, here we go. We are going to, all right, we're going to preheat it. So we're going to cook this on the stove top, a little bit of oil. All right. Any questions so far? No? How you guys been? The tomatillas with some yellow onion, yeah. So I would roast the onion too. If you're going to roast it, roast everything. So roast the onion. If you want to do some garlic, throw that in there. Throw the tomatillas in there. Don't think too much about it. Just get a really hot oven, throw it in there. You know, about 30 minutes, and you're going to have something really nice. And then you just bring it out, salt and pepper, throw it in your blender, blend it up. You may need to add a little water just to help adjust it. If you roast it, you're probably not going to need some water. It's probably going to be good and soft for you. Okay. So I'm going to heat this skillet up, and then we're going to chop up this. We're going to chop up this tofu.
What type of oil did you use? Because that's the we're looking
This is probably not the oil. This is California Olive Ranch. Truth be told, so we buy oil in a big thing. I just don't like to put the big jug out here, so I fill this up. This is actually the one I buy at home. It's a pretty good brand for an American olive oil, California Ranch. They make different spice levels of it. All right, so we're going to chop this up kind of small. We don't care what it looks like because we see that's going to be all crumbled up anyway. We're going to get it nice and hot. We're going to throw it in there. We're going to do our best to brown it up a little bit. You can get it pretty brown on the stovetop. So if you wanted to do it this way at home, that's a good way. If you don't want to turn your oven on, I don't blame you. Just let it sit there and do its thing. And then we're going to get ready and we're going to dice up some peppers and onions, a little bit of garlic, because that's going to go next, right? We're going to add olive oil, saute tofu, allowing it to brown as much as possible. We're going to add some spices, simply cumin and chili powder, throw that in there. Add the peppers, cook that for a while. We're going to add some tomato paste. We're going to cook that out. All right. No, it's Latin America. Yeah. I mean, they grow them. You can grow them. You could probably grow them here. I've never thought to grow them, actually. I wasn't thinking about it until today. I don't know. Somebody's tasked to grow them this time. Who's going to grow them? Go ahead. You have a question?
You know, I have so many recipes that require just 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Can we freeze it when we don't need
Okay, can you freeze? The question was tomato paste. That is an excellent question. What do you do with tomato paste? Because you have to buy, the smallest jar you can get is like that, right? Yes, you can freeze it. So what I've done is I've taken tomato paste out of a can, use what I need, put it in a little Ziploc bag, right? Maybe a couple tablespoons in each one, throw it in the freezer. If you don't like to do that, now this thing here, yeah, man, this is money, right? This is what you want. I keep it in the refrigerator on the door, and you're going to be okay. Yeah. Okay? But yes, you can freeze tomato paste. That's a good question. Because we all dealt with that, right? Yeah. For what? Oh, roast at 400 for the tofu. Yeah. I probably did 450 on this oven. Yeah. 400's good. Yeah, 400, 450. Again, I wouldn't obsess too much over that. I mean, every single oven's really different. This oven, for example, doesn't get it hot at all. So I know that I got to get that thing like 450, 475. Your oven at home might be a little better. Not that this is a bad oven. I'm thankful that I have. Yeah. So I dice these pretty small. I don't want a really large dice in this dish. Again, remember, you can roast these and blend them if you want. And then build like a soupy type of sauce. And let your tofu sit in there and absorb all that. It's a lot of fun. Or you can look up other recipes like this and get examples of things. So, you know, there's so many ways to make things. So even if you're in this class and you saw us do something and you go home and you Google it, you could probably find so many other ways to make things. I try to make things that are easy and think about us in the kitchen, maybe after work or when we're busy or we just don't want a lot of steps in our cooking. So I try to simplify cooking. Yeah. So that's sizzling away. I've never seen tofu burn, so I think we're okay. Yeah. What else? So that's our peppers. We're gonna stir that just a little bit. Yeah, it's getting nice and brown. So we have two types of peppers, red and yellow. We have our onion. We're gonna dice that. Yeah, so we were talking about maybe taking the tofu out and doing some other things like ground beef. That would be kind of good. Or, you know, chicken, turkey. Why not? Yeah, it's all the same thing. I mean, it can all work. Yep, it's all protein. It can work. Remember, the sauce is key. All right. Okay. So we are going to add, what do we got? 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1 teaspoon of chili powder. Nope, we're not measuring. All right, there we go. Just gonna toast that real quick. See that? And you can smell it. It's nice. Don't want to burn it, so just give it a quick toss around. Then you can add your vegetables. That's going to cool your skillet down. So now you're not going to burn anything. Don't be afraid to mash it up a little bit. Tofu doesn't have to be uniform. Maybe you can even trick your kids or your grandkids into eating tofu, right? Make it more like meat. It's funny how we do that. We think about all these plant-based things that we want to do, but we're always trying to make it like meat.
Tastes like chicken.
Tastes like chicken. Yeah, I know. Struggle with that, right? I have a hard time with the bacon, right? So they want to say, okay, I'm going to make mushroom bacon or eggplant bacon, and I can't get past that. It's just really hard. And I'm guilty of trying. Like, I've tried to make it. And it turns out, it's okay. Like, I don't know, but me, like, if I want to eat mushroom, I want to eat mushroom. If I want to eat bacon, I'm going to eat bacon for what it is, but I don't know. It's just funny how we think about vegetables and, like, are they really that bad that we have to make them taste like meat? I don't know. I mean, I really like vegetables, and it's kind of like the Beyond Meat and stuff like that, you know, the meat analogs of. Throw a little garlic in there. All right, we'll give that some time to saute a little bit. Then we're going to get our tomato paste in there. I'll take these off. Okay, so that's cooking. We've added our spices. We've added our onions. That's sauteing. It's nice. Tofu's dry. Kind of brown. Yeah, so let's make the avocado crema. Let's work on the jalapenos. All right. We'll keep an eye on that. You watch that. Okay. Don't let it burn. Okay. Yep. So I've already cleaned one for you. I think this calls for 2. Hope it's not too spicy. Yeah, 2 jalapenos. That's a big one. We'll go with a smaller one. That's about the size. See, they come different sizes. I like jalapenos. I don't mind a little bit of the heat, but I love the flavor. I love the jalapeno vinaigrette like we were talking about. It's really nice. So I take these, just cut them in half. You can take a spoon and just kind of get all that stuff out of there. Remove all that, just like that. I don't want to light anybody up. You guys won't trust me anymore. Okay, take out some of that. Take out that white membrane. There's some heat in there too. We're just looking for that good flavor of a jalapeno. Okay, that's nice. There we go. All right, so we have that. Stir that up a little bit. Multitasking. Avocados next. How many? One avocado. Okay. We're going to add, let's add this adobo pepper. All right. See that? Open it up. It's hard to see on there, but it has a few seeds in there. I'm not too worried about those. And I'm gonna mince that up. It's really soft. I'm gonna throw it in there. That's your chipotle pepper. Yep, that comes in a can, right? I'm just gonna do one. Mix that in there. Then we're gonna add our tomato paste. We'll add everything else. You guys smell it? Yeah, it smells good. So bowls are fun, right? You can go so many different directions with that. I know this has like a south of the border kind of flair to it, but you can go a lot of different directions with bowls. So tomato paste. Yeah, add tomato paste, cook for a little bit, finish with lime juice and cherry vinegar, right? So I'm going to add the tomato paste. It's kind of like a toothpaste jar. You have to roll it up. A tube of toothpaste. Okay. Now, tomato paste, I know we've gone over this before. We want to make sure that we're cooking it in. Maybe we want to turn this down, medium heat. Anyway, what was I saying? We're going to cook in the tomato paste really well. Make sure everything is incorporated. Yeah. Yeah. That doesn't mean it's hot. No. All right, I'm chasing everybody out. No, you're not in trouble. This is not spicy, I promise. No, I wouldn't do that to you.
And the rice calms it down too.
The rice will calm it down too, yeah. Okay. All right, so then we're going to add our lime juice. Salt and pepper, vinegar. Is this something you can make at home? Yeah, not too bad, right? Sherry vinegar. We talked about, somebody asked before, like I always say, you can use different vinegars. Yeah, you can. Maybe this is one time I'll say you can't. I really like sherry vinegar on that. Again, it has that like woody kind of smokiness a little bit to it that really complements this dish really well. Is it okay if I said that? You have to use sherry vinegar. Okay. I'm the chef. That's right. You have to listen to me this time.
It's not a suggestion.
It's not a suggestion today. Yeah. Okay. And guys, that's really it. Let that just sit there and do its thing. We were working on this, so this is easy. Jalapenos. Put gloves on again. Avocado. Have we done anything with avocado in here before? Can't remember. Maybe. If you work in an emergency room, there's a thing called a avocado cut. It's very common. It's like one of these deals, all right? One of these deals. Yeah? Okay. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to cut our hand and go to the emergency room. So avocado, you know, it gives a little bit. It's nice and ripe. This is a good one, I can tell. It's not too green. It's not too dark. It gives a little bit when I squeeze it. There's so many different ways to cut avocado, right? So I cut mine in half. Remember, hold your knife, thumb here, right? Fingers here, wrap around. Just like that when you hold a knife.
By the way, you need to teach Megan Markle how to hold a knife.
Oh, is she one of these?
I'm not a fan, but I saw a picture of her and she had her index
Finger like that? Yeah. Megan can do whatever she wants. All right, we're going to do it like this because we don't want to go to the emergency room. We're going to take this avocado. We're going to cut it. I cut it right in half, right? Just a little pressure down. Seed comes right out, just like that. You cut right through the seed. Yeah. Never cut through the seed. Sharp knife, that's what you need. You can cut right through the seed. That avoids that whole like cutting here, trying to twist it. But sometimes they're stubborn, right? That nut doesn't always want to come out of the avocado. It gets stuck. I don't know. You know, you can cut it like that on a cutting board if you want. You can twist it like that. I would go like that, take that out like that. Yeah.
We can push it from the outside in.
Yeah, you can do that too. Okay. Let's try your way. I'm all about learning too. Like this? Yeah. There you go. Thank you. Learned something new today. That's a nice one there. This one's a little more brown. We use that in our sauce. You know, you can just peel that right out. That'll come out. You can take them, cut them in half if that's a little easier. Put that in there. We're gonna add our vinegar, oil. Everything goes in one time. Just turn it on. Voila, you're done. I'll chop these up for us to eat. That's fine. What are we doing here? Okay. So we're going to do vinegar. I use rice wine vinegar because I like something a little more neutral. With this, I don't want to steal the show from the jalapenos or the avocado. So I choose rice wine vinegar. You know, it's not rice wine vinegar. Yep. It's not very strong. It's very, very neutral. Okay. And then we're going to add our oil. Right. Then we're going to add salt and pepper, or salt anyway, and a little bit of honey. Honey is 1 teaspoon, just to help balance it out a little bit. Okay. And then we're going to put it on the blender. Okay. Again, this is a NutriBullet, kind of nice, easy to use. Turn it on. Avocado crema. See? Yeah, it's really easy. You guys can do it. It'll last for a couple of days in your fridge. It's good. It's not even hot. Or spicy, I mean. Yep. There's that. So easy, right? Don't forget that salad dressing thing with that. So take the avocado out, add a little, for that recipe, write down like 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard in that. and you have a salad dressing. It's so cool and really good. You'll love it. Especially great in the summertime because it just tastes like jalapeno, but there's no heat. Maybe just a little tiny bit in the back of your throat, but that's it. Okay, real fast. Let's do these tomatillos. We're gonna throw those in here. What did I say I'm gonna do in there? Oh yeah, red onion. I have a red onion here, so let's use that up. I'm gonna throw that in there one more time with the gloves, since we're not cooking. These are nitrite gloves. Yeah, I use latex mostly at work. Well, I'm not allergic to latex. They're fine with me. I don't wear gloves at home.
Do you wear gloves when you fry jalapenos at home?
Nah, not jalapenos. No, something else I would. Yeah, for sure. So this, I'll just take this half an onion. I'm gonna chop it up. I'm gonna throw it in there just like that. I'm gonna cut these just so we can blend them a little easier, right? I'm making this on the fly. Okay. I don't know if it's all gonna fit. I'm gonna throw some avocado in here too, just to help put it together. This is gonna be pretty tangy. There we go. Yeah, I think you guys will like this too. This is really good to pour over chicken, like I said. We have that chicken right there. We're gonna pour this right over top of it. It's gonna be delicious. So we took just a regular, plain old rotisserie chicken from Costco. Shout out to Costco. What else? Cilantro. You guys don't like it. We're not gonna put that in there. Oh, jalapeno again. There we go. Do a little jalapeno real quick. Jalapenos are really easy to grow too. So if you want to try to grow jalapenos, I recommend it. Questions? No? Usually you guys have a lot more harder questions. You're quiet today. I get it. Maybe you're just hungry. Okay. Top of my head, I don't know. A little salt. I think that's it. We may need a little more salt. Yep. I put a little water in there too, just to help thin it out. We don't want it really thick. Oh, wrong one. That's easy. This is a Vitamix. Vitamix is a type of blend. It's a blender. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay. Just a little bit. Yeah. A teaspoon. Yep. Blender with a car engine. Yeah. All right. So here we go. We're just going to pour that over top of our chicken. We're going to mix that in. Lauren is back.
Maybe Lauren's hungry.
Maybe Lauren smelt all the peppers cooking and she said, oh no, I better get in there. Okay, so we did some things today. So we made the Tofu Sofritas, we made Tomatillo salsa, we made the avocado crema. You guys didn't have a lot of questions, so I assume you have it all memorized. You're ready to go. One more.
Is the did you do anything to the
Lauren bought the chicken from Costco. Shout out Costco. Yep. She pulled the chicken, and I heated it up. And then we made the tomatillo salsa together, and we poured it over top of the chicken. All right? And she burned her thumbs because the chicken was really hot. Yeah. Okay? Guys, I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here today with us, okay? Thank you.
Thank you for joining Cancer Support Community Atlanta for this program. If you're interested in other live or recorded programs, please visit the online program tab of our website, cscatlanta.org, or follow us on Facebook. We'll be sharing additional information on upcoming programs.